guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today I would like to show off my favorite collage decks. So these are strictly just my collage tarot decks, which I love. I don't keep any decks that I don't love, so these are all just like the decks that I have, and I love them. I thought it would just be fun to take a look at them, you know, in case you're one of those people that is into collage art. I wouldn't say that I am like always a collage art person. I think it has to be a particular type of collage art because I know there's a lot out there using various different media and pictures and kind of combining it and putting it all together, and I'm not always into all of it, so I wouldn't say I'm like a super collage person, but when it comes together in a certain way, I am totally in love with it. The first couple of decks probably are no surprise to anyone, and that is my Housewives Tarot. If anything is like a little retro, a little kitschy, arty, then I definitely like it. And so obviously they've taken these pictures of glasses and, you know, taken pictures of, or cut out these pictures of these people and kind of placed them in here, either by hand or through Photoshop. But, you know, I just, you know, I dig it. That's just my style. So like I said, I am totally into retro anything. So if it's got a like a funky 40s vibe, a 50s vibe, maybe an early 60s vibe to it, I'm going to like it. So definitely one of my fave decks for collage. Number 2 on my list is the Zombie Tarot. So in the same vein as the Housewives Tarot, it's kitschy, it's got a sense of humor to it. It's taking like old 40s, 50s, early 60s photographs and place them in interesting configurations such as this. So yeah, I don't know, I just really like it. Actually these were the Housewives and the Zombie Tarot, I think, were some of the first tarot decks I ever got, and I still use them quite regularly because I love how they read. And I love a sense of humor in a deck. There are times for darker decks and more serious decks, which I do have, but this is like, you know, if a deck were me, it's like my sense of humor. The third deck on my list is the Star Child Tarot. So I know this has a bunch of layering. It's more Photoshop instead of looking more like cut and paste. And I do have some decks that are more surreal, such as like Tarot de la Nuit. It's, you know, where you've taken a photograph of a model and then kind of like created this like hyper real or hyper reality around the model. And I think that the Star Child Tarot has the model, but it's not made to look like something real, you know, not like this real hyper reality type thing. Like, it still looks a little cut and paste, even though I know that it's probably all done on Photoshop. Whoops. But yeah, I still kind of consider this like collage type. Some people may argue with me, but to me it's layered, so yeah. And this one definitely reads much differently than the Zombie Tarot and the Housewives Tarot. So this is more like, to me, meditative, deeper reading. So I'm very, I use these in very specific readings if I'm going to use it with a client. But yeah, I love the colors too of this deck. Then number 4 on my list is the Moonchild Tarot. And when this came in this year, I was like, oh, it's still a fave. Yes, it's gonna be a fave forever. I just so if okay, so the Zombie Tarot, the Housewives Tarot is more like my quirky, funny personality. This is more of my serious personality, I think. So beautiful backings, by the way. Ooh. But here we go again with the It's so, I mean, the other one feels soft too, the Star Child Tarot, but this one just speaks to my soul. It is like the more serious, more spiritual part of me. And I just love how they have layered these images with the shapes, the coloring, just it's beautiful. And you guys have probably seen like a bazillion reviews on this, but this definitely makes it into my favorite collage deck. And then we get into number 5. Number 5 on my list is the Florography Tarot. I got this a while back, and I follow the creator on the Instagrams, and just kind of seeing if there's any new projects in the works. Again, beautiful backings. And these images are taken from her own like family photos, like history of her family photos, and then cut and paste with flowers and the beautiful like wallpaper backgrounds, and just I love using this deck. This deck to me is a no-nonsense deck when I read with it. And there is a time and place for that. So that's why I have different decks. I mean, some people can just use one deck, and there is no shame in that game. For me, I'm a multi-deck person because I'm very visual and I just like pretty images. And so yeah, so different decks for different themes, different games, different days, different feelings, emotions. Same thing. So yeah. All right, number 6, or maybe it's 6. 6 on my list, or maybe this is 6. Is the Frau Grand Duchess Tarot, which I was so stoked to have been able to pair with the creator back when she had given me a couple of decks to use in a giveaway that I had when I reached a certain amount of subscribers. Totally cool chica. Here's the back of her cards. And again, this is like the kind of like the zombie tarot, housewives tarot, again in that same like kitschy like 50s, 60s going on into the 70s. There's a mixer in the background because it's the holidays and people are cooking, so nothing I can do. But yeah, see how it's just like all these different photos, just like how they are layered and how they are put together just tells such an awesome story. And the fact that you can relate it to the different cards in the tarot is just so cool. So yes, the Frau Grand Duchess Tarot. And by the way, I do love how it's like in typewriter font. It's just awesome. And then going into deck number 7 or 7. Is the Practical Magic Tarot, also known as the Practical Magic Starter Tarot. And this is the back. I've done a review of this, so you definitely can check this out in my reviews playlist. One of my more recent purchases, and to me this is like, it's a mixture of modern photographs and older photographs, like our early 60s kind of in there, along with other medias like paint and, you know, watercolors and other things. So yeah, and it's also like my favorite deck right now, so I just can't keep my hands off of it. And I was like, I need to make another video with this. So yes, definitely an awesome collage deck. And my last tarot deck number 8, I suppose, is my very first tarot deck, and this is the Enchanted Tarot. So my very first Enchanted Tarot I gifted to a friend, and then I bought the Enchanted Tarot again, but technically it was my first deck. Just not this actual physical deck. But anyway, here are the backings. I got obviously a very large edition, and I like it. But with this one, there's a lot of different media. There's like quilting and lace and stones and photographs, and just, yeah, I like the collage. It took me, I never connected with the first time around. The second time around, we homies. So yes, a beautiful multimedia deck. And these are gigantic tapestries, by the way. Like pared down to make it cards. So yeah, my last of my collage decks. All right, so that's it for me, spiritual homies. That was 8 decks in total of my favorite collage decks. Those are all of my collage decks. So yeah, I don't keep anything that is not a favorite. You know, if I'm not working with something anymore, I always let it move on to somebody else because I do want decks to be used. The creators have put so much love and effort into their decks and their beautiful art that I always want decks to be used. So if I'm not using it, I'm always gonna gift it off to somebody else. All right, so that's it for me, spiritual homies. You know, definitely do a response video to this so I can see what your favorite collage decks are. So I'll definitely create a hashtag for this, so you'll see that in the title when I figure out what hashtag I want to call this. And that's it for me, spiritual homies. So if you dug this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, don't forget to click subscribe, and don't forget to click that ding 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 notification bell for more videos just like this. And if you have any comments or questions about the decks that I have shown, then place that in the comments section down below. I look forward to seeing if you guys post maybe some videos on your fave decks, or hey, if you just want to post them on the Instagrams, just tag me at Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. Yeah, and so that's it. And if you want to catch a reading with me, I'll probably end up using one of those decks. Then head on over to www.kittensweightsandtarot.com. And if you want to send a little love my way, help support what I do here on YouTube. If you like what I do and you just want to help things for the YouTubes and help me with meetups and the creation of my own oracle deck, which is so close to getting printed. Just head on over to patreon.com/kittensweightsandtarot. And I will catch you spiritual homies later. All right. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.